Hi everyone, this is SquarelyCircle with SquarelyCircle Plays, and today I'm going to be playing Grim Dawn. Specifically, I want to talk about a build that's in the Steam Guides section. I find that it's a good build. If you don't know what you're going to be doing and you don't quite understand how the game works, following this build at least gets you something that is usable. It's got a lot of survivability, it's got a lot of damage, so I think it's pretty good. So this is the guide. It's the Easy Leveling Witch Hunter Guide by Ruby or Ruby or Ruby. I don't know how you pronounce her name, but it's a good guide they've made. The guide is a little outdated, so some of the things they suggest I actually didn't go with, and so as we play through, I will kind of point out the differences between my build and their build. Their build goes up to level 26. Currently I'm level 39, so I've had to go beyond what their build suggests, but they do make some suggestions about where to go in the future and what to do with the build, some of which I followed and some of which I have not. It may be that I have failed to follow their suggestions because I'm bad at the game and I don't understand why the suggestions are good, or it may be that the guide is outdated, so those suggestions are no longer valid. But we'll talk about it as I go along. Now, let's go ahead and load up Grim Dawn. There we go. And let's go ahead and first I'll show you my items so that you can kind of see what items do I have. Probably everybody's going to have slightly different items. I've got a couple items that I really like, and these are the blades. Now, with a Night Blade, of course, your dual wielding is important, so getting good blades is important, and I'm lucky enough that I think I've got a couple of really good blades for where I am in the game. The thing I like most about them is that they give you +2 to Amarastus Quick Cut, and this one gives you +2 to Whirling Death as well, which are both skills that I have added to the character, and we'll talk about those. I've put on a lot of increased armor because what happens to me is I get burst down. I never die slowly. If you're trying to kill me slowly, I'm going to last forever. What happens is I die when the enemy bursts me down with a massive amount of damage, usually like 3 times over. And I'll show you a couple bad guys who I've had trouble with and what I do when fighting them. The basic strategy is you run away and come back after healing for a short time, but I'll show you exactly how that works when we get there. A lot of my items give me special skills that I want to show you. The first is this Poison Bolt. It's just a little bit of extra damage. It's 1,000 extra damage. That's 5% chance up to once every second. So that's kind of a nice little addition there with that ring. Let me find where's all right. And here's the Combat Medic's Mark, which gives me the Field Medicine skill, which is very similar to some of the other skills I have, which give you a burst of healing plus a lot of regeneration over time. And so that Field Medicine is a really nice skill. I also use Calamity, which you can build at the blacksmith, and it just gives you a little bit of extra damage. If you attack, you have 5% chance of just doing a little bit of extra damage to the enemies who are closest to you. And that's about it for the skills I gain. I'm pretty sure. Well, there's also this. There's Lightning Bolt, which is like what Calamity does. 5% chance on attack. You get some extra damage to those that are nearby, and that's nice as well. All right. As far as the extra armor and the getting bursted down, I was reading some forums. I do a lot more reading than playing, actually, because I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I'm not good at this game. Take that in mind as you take my advice. I'm not good at this game. But someone was saying that most of the time when you get burst down, it's because you're getting hit by crits, and that you can reduce the damage done by critical hits with increased armor. So that's what I read on the forums. I don't really know if these people know what they're talking about any more than I do, but that's what was the suggestion, so I increased my armor. It seems to work well enough, but there are sometimes I still get burst down. It's still those bursts are what kill me. Okay, so let's also, with these points, I put almost all of my points into physique. There's none in spirit, only 11 into cunning, and I've been able to wield most weapons that I've been interested in, and 28 into physique. So I feel like the survivability is so much more important than anything else in this game. All right, let's look at my skills. How does it differ from what they've done? I've got my pet at 16. The guide suggests eventually getting rid of the pet, respecking those points, and putting them into damage skills from the Nightblade line, which I'll talk about in just a second. I, of course, went with the Soleil's Witchfire, which is suggested in the guide, and I went with Blood of Dreeg, which is a super good healing survivability skill. The Nightblade has a similar skill, the Pneumatic Burst, which I use generously to keep myself alive along with the Blood of Dreeg, and its upgrade, Breath of Belgothian. Then of course there's the Shadow Strike, just a few points in that to get you into the fight, and when you're in the middle of the fray and there's a ranged enemy who's dishing out tons of damage to you, you can quickly use that on the ranged enemy, so it gets you out of the fray even if you're slowed, and gets you over to that enemy and allows you to kill them quickly so that they're not doing so much damage to you. Then a lot of points I'm putting into this top line here. The guide talks about replacing your pet with this line, getting you up to the execution skill, which requires a ton of just basic stat points into the Nightblade line to get up there. So I'm not probably going to get up there anytime soon, but I'm still working on this line. And as you can see, these blue skills, that means that there's points added from my weapons. And that's why I really like my weapons. It's 2 extra levels of this and 2 extra levels of this. It's actually 4 extra levels of Amarastus Quick Cut because I've got 2 weapons that add 2 to it, and then 2 extra levels of Whirling Death. So that's I mean, that's 6 points. It's like 2 levels because of the weapons I've got, which I really like. I don't remember exactly where I got them. I think that this one I got the Dermapteran Slicer. I got in the fields west of Homestead, underground in that Queen's Cave place. I think that's where I got this. And this one, I can't remember. I don't know. It was somewhere, maybe the Twin Falls area. Yeah, maybe it was. You know, I can't remember, so I don't want to give you bad advice and have you go searching there for hours trying to find it, because I can't remember. But the Duelist Saber, look it up. I think it was a good item for where I was in the game, for where I am. I actually had 2 of them at one point, and then I replaced it with the Puncturing Dermapteran Slicer of the Rift Hound, which is really quite good. I really like it. And I'm not sure if I mentioned I added the Piercing Aura to that, so yeah, but you can get that with any serrated spike. You can get that onto any item. All right. So that's basically it for what I've done with my skills. I've really pushed up. I've pumped points into this line, gotten my Nightblade way up, and now devotions. Now, devotions are complicated and weird, so you gotta forgive me. I have no idea where I'm going. I mean, I've got some idea, but I don't have any idea if it's a good idea, right? So I'm trying something. I can't recommend my devotions, but I also, at this point, they've been okay. They've kind of done me some good. So let me show you what I've got. I went with, the guide recommends the Harpy and the Vulture. They're fine. I'm not sure where to go with those. I got extra purple points, and I don't see a lot of purple stuff I want to use. So I went, as I continued forward, I grabbed the Ghoul. I didn't grab this point because I don't need extra red. I've got plenty of red, and I don't have anything I want to grab that's red, so I'm not even finishing this constellation. I just wanted to get to this Ghoulish Hunger. I wanted to get some of these extra bonuses, like the 4% of attack damage converted to health, which I hear is good late game, better than normal lifesteal. And then I wanted to get this skill that gives you 37% of attack damage converted to health when it activates, and it activates whenever you get down to 33% health. Now, I rarely get down to 33% health if I'm not, like, really close to dying. So, if I ever get down and start I use this skill, usually I'm running away from the fight, which is a little bit inconvenient because you need to be attacking to make use of it, and it only lasts 6 seconds. So if I'm running away, and I will quick use my, and I notice that it pops up, I'll quick use my Shadow Strike skill to get back in the fight and start hitting people in hopes that it will bring me back up and heal me up while doing damage. So it didn't turn out quite as good as I hoped, but it's also not bad. It's a lot of this skill depends on surviving long enough to dish out all the damage you're dealing. And then I grabbed the Bat, mostly just more healing, and it has 25% of attack damage converted to health 20% of the time. 20% of the time, 1 every 5 attacks is going to give you 25% lifesteal. That seems like it's going to be very good. Now, I don't have the points to get that yet, So I'm not actually using that. I'm working my way over there. I need 3 more devotion shrines to get those points. But all right, and just talking about where I'm going with this, is it this guy? Yeah, so I was thinking that we could work our way out to Giant's Blood. We need 4 blues and 4 greens. So this is this one that gives the greens. Yeah, this one will give me 3 more greens. I had to get 1 in order to even get into this line, and so that'll give me the greens necessary to get this get into this giant. With the Giant Blood gives you a whole bunch of. It's kind of like the skills we already have. It's another skill that just gives you this massive regen. And then I've looked up this way toward the blues. It would be so cool to be able to get the tree for increased survivability, but that requires a ton of blue and a little bit of yellow. And so my devotion ideas are spread all over the place. There are great abilities for staying alive, and we don't use a shield, so some of the best defensive skills are not really great for us. Like this turtle is a good defensive guy, but he has 1 point that goes 50% of what you're getting out of this is decreased requirements for shields, which absolutely does not help us. My guess is that doesn't help very much late game when you're probably meeting the requirements of everything. But I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, so we need blue points, which I have not really worked out how I'm going to get those. I've looked at a few of these, the lizard, the gallows, there's the dryad, and the solemn watcher. The hound gives you some increased armor and a bit of retaliation and a bit of physique, so that could be good. And these things all provide blues, so we could get a bunch of blues and then go for this. We would need a little bit of yellow, which would not be hard. There's some good yellow things. I'm not going to go into them right now, but we definitely will be able to, by getting a little bit of those blues, get down and take the giant. Where did the giant go? Is this him? It's the behemoth is what it's called. Alright, so there's my ideas. My devotions I'm throwing in for survivability. My feeling is like I'm dishing out tons of damage, but the whole purpose of this build is to keep you alive. And there are other builds that keep you alive, but this is the one I started with, so I'm trying to make it work. The defensive builds, I know there's a lot of defensive builds. One popular thing is to have really, really high defense with a lot of retaliation, and so that's one I'll probably try out later after I've played this character a bit. I'll go make a new character and go with the defensive retaliation build. I don't know. I feel like in this game you basically have to make a build that gives you excessive survivability. Like you have to focus on survivability, or else you're just going to be dying a lot. Alternatively, you can play with a friend where one of you focuses on survivability and the other focuses on dishing out tons of damage, but then you've got to have a friend who consistently plays with you, otherwise your build is useless. If you make a build that requires another person to have their build be a particular way, then you're saving that character for only when you're playing with that person. So anyway, let's go. I'll show you how I farm up and a couple of the bad guys that I've had some trouble with and what I do in the fights with them. If I die, I apologize. I'll leave it in there. I am specifically going to guides that I've died on before. Like I said, I am not great at this game. I just wish somebody had made a video so that I could have referenced while I was building my character so I could know what's going on. Alright, so I summon my pet. It'll stick with me as I go through portals and stuff. I put on Soleil's Witchfire, and then this here is my piercing aura that I got from the serrated spike, or whatever, what's it called? Serrated spike. And I put that up. That helps me and my pet. You can see it's on my pet as well. And increases my piercing damage by 25%. And if we look at my stats, what is my piercing damage? With it on, where are we? Alright, pierce damage is 303 to 497 at 176%. So it's a pretty nice thing to have when I've got so much piercing damage. Right. Okay. Then you see here I've got, for my skills, my first one is the Shadow Strike. Then I've got 3 healing skills. There, one being tonics, and you'll notice I've only got 42 tonics. That's because I put my other stack in my chest. You're going to get way more tonics than you need. I only use tonics when I feel like these 2 skills aren't going to cut it, if I'm worried, if there's a boss. But the reality is, you get tonics so frequently that you can be pretty liberal, at least in normal mode. You can be pretty liberal with using tonics. If you're like, these guys are dishing out a ton of damage, I wouldn't want to get spiked down, throw in a tonic. I don't use tonics very often unless there's a boss. If there's a hero that is kind of scary, then I'll use a tonic. Do I have trash? Let me go just sell my trash out of my inventory. And as I go, I never use shields. That's epic, so I'll leave it alone, and I'll read it later when I'm not doing a video. The armor is low. I don't meet the requirements, so I'm not even going to bother holding on to these. 70 health regeneration, fire resistance. I think the armor is the same as what I've got. The chaos damage on mine I like better than the fire resistance because I don't really worry too much about fire. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm getting burst down by fire and I just don't recognize it. I have a hard time telling what is killing me when I die. But alright, so then the health regeneration is nice, but it seems like defensive ability is slightly more important since I've already got so much health regeneration. It's nice to reduce the damage I'm taking. Alright, so, but these are decent enough. I'm going to throw them in my chest. Well, where am I going? I'm going to throw them in my chest so if I have a future character who needs something, I don't even meet the requirement. That's level 40. Oh wait, well these, not those, these. Okay. And
I'll keep an eye on this.
I'll hold on to those shoulders and I'll check them out later when I'm not making a video. Alright, so I'm going to go into the Blood Grove and find there's a boss in here, an enemy hero down in this area or this area. I think it's this area, who gives me a lot of trouble. So I'm going to go fight him specifically because he gives me a lot of trouble. And then you'll be able to see what's going on.
Can't do that.
Can't even tell which of these guys are good guys and bad guys. I don't like having all these extra helpers. I'd rather just do it myself. Get out of here, all you helpers. Okay,
That skill's not ready.
these little groups are, they're not even hitting me, they're ignoring me and hitting at my dog, so that's one of the reasons I like having the pet. You can see I use Shadow Strike pretty liberally. It doesn't require much mana. You don't have much energy, and one of the things that's hard about the guy that I'm about to go fight is he has something he does that massively drained my energy. And since I have low energy regen and I'm relying on skills that don't require much energy, then when my energy gets emptied, then I can't do anything. I just have to run. There's nothing I can do but run at that point. But when I fight him, I'll show you how I just kind of avoid him during the hardest parts of the fight. These guys died nearly instantly, so we're doing enough damage most of the time. Paths change in this. Alright, this is the guy? Yes, this is him. So you see, my hits get quite low. I'm definitely going to be using potions throughout this. He summons extra guys. Here, I've used a potion. I've got my healing skills all up. You can see that the medic thing will occasionally proc, and it really helps. So I use my Shadow Strike. I get in there, I hit him and 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 hit him. When he starts dishing out tons of damage, then I back out. I dodge a little bit, use my Shadow Strike, and get back in the fight. This gives me time for my healing skills to recharge, which give me a burst whenever I use them, and also gets me out of the way of danger. Oh, gotta get out. See, it's just tons of damage. And he hasn't used the thing on me that drains all my mana. I can... Oh, gosh. But I just get back in, the fight. If I start losing enough hits, I'll use another potion. So I've used 3 potions while fighting this guy, and now I gotta back out because he's just dishing out too much damage. It's a little dance I've got to do in order to kill him. All right, so pick up all these items. I'm getting to the point in the game where I might turn off magic items because they're not really, like, almost all of them are not good enough. But occasionally I do find something that I upgrade with. So I'm leaving it on for now until I'm getting like half my items are rare or something like that, or until I'm getting to the point where all the items that I'm wearing are rare. I'm just gonna keep magic items on for now. Okay, the next place I'm going to go is a boss who has also killed me before, and you know, usually bad guys don't present a problem, so I think what really the real problem is I get a little bit careless and then suddenly I fight a boss that actually you need to, you know, be careful with, and I have a problem because I'm not expecting to have a problem. So I think that's the real problem, is normal mobs are nothing. I didn't even use any skills. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention during that fight, and it's nothing. My guy heals up automatically more than the damage they're dishing out. But the next guy is up in this area. He's in that fort. I died to him the first time I ran into him just because I didn't do anything. I walked in and he killed me because I was just kind of carelessly running around. But oops, wrong way. You know what? Let's just to speed this up slightly, I'm going to use a portal and teleport to, wait, is that, yeah, teleport to the Blood Grove, which is not that far away, but saves me just that much time. Alright, we'll walk up this way. See, there's a problem with this game where I'm pretty sure if I reported it, nothing would happen, but if you have items on the ground, and you try and attack an enemy through the item, you will neither pick up the item nor attack the enemy. Your guy will sit there and do nothing. But, I mean, I love the devs. They made a great game, but that is a glitch that my guess is if I reported it, it would not get fixed. But I'll probably report it. See, with these guys, I don't even need to use my skills, but I can if I want to keep my health up. And I guess that guy probably needed to have the skills on to not die. The what's this called? The Blood of Dreeg skill also has some acid retaliation, so it gives you a little bit of extra damage.
Skill's not ready.
And all those tonics that I used on that boss, I mean, you pick up tonics all the time. You shouldn't ever have to buy a tonic. I don't even know if you can buy a tonic. Somebody on the forums was saying something about bad players wasting all their money on tonics. because they couldn't keep themselves alive. I actually don't know that you can buy tonics. I figure you must be able to, but I haven't checked. So, all right. So this is the place where the guy is. He's kind of in the back, so we have to fight our way through. Let's go ahead and kill these guys. I was considering using a tonic there. I didn't end up using a tonic. There's a book I didn't notice the last time I was here. If I used a tonic, it would have turned out being a waste, but it's also, you don't use a tonic because you know you're going to die. You use a tonic to prevent the unlikely possibility of dying. So I probably should have used a tonic, but it was fine that I didn't end up using a tonic. And speaking of which, speaking of dying, I'm going to go ahead and when I get back out to this section, drop a portal in case I die. I don't have to waste time coming back here. I mean, portals are free, so... I don't know. I've never played any other build. This is my first character, but I feel like I'm killing the guys fast enough. I'm not like spending a ton of time on little guys. All right, this is the guy. This is the hard guy. Oh gosh, see, I didn't have my skills up and stuff. I instantly died, but I made that portal, so it's not a big deal. All right, so let's go fight that guy, and let's look at how to better deal with him other than just running in and getting myself killed. First things first, I need to pull out my dog, put up my Soul Ales Witchfire, and my Precision Aura. Those things are up. I'm ready to go. Now let's see. So that guy in there, are we going this way to get to him? Go the other way too. But all right. So is this him? No. This is just the minions. Let's get rid of the minions first, so that way when we're fighting him alone. Looks like he hasn't noticed us yet. There's my grave. Let's grab that next so that we don't lose out on that experience in case I die again. Alright, and now we got him there. I'm going to put up this skill, the Drink Blood. I'm going to use my second skill to keep myself healed up. When I start losing more hit points, I'm going to use a potion. I'm going to save it so I get it as late as possible. I'm about to kill my dog, so I'm getting ready to bring my dog back. My dog back, put up a potion, use my blood. And wow, that was actually a lot easier than last time. Partially because he was focusing on my dog the whole time. So that's one of the reasons I haven't gotten rid of my dog yet, is because that does happen, where the enemy will just focus on my dog the whole time. Now, if he had been attacking me, I could have still survived it, and it would have been with the 5 skills if you count the potion. There's the potion whenever you are going to not have maximum hit points on a fight where you might die. It's good to have a potion just to keep you getting closer to maximum hit points. The Blood of Dreeg, when it's used, it gives you a burst of healing and then heals you over time. Same with Pneumatic Burst. Gives you a burst of healing when you use it and then heals you over time. So I try and have those up when I go into the fight, but on low cooldown if possible. So that way I'm going into the fight with the regeneration, but soon into the fight I'll be able to use them again to give me a burst and renew the regeneration. Then there's, with Soul Ales Witchfire, I have combined with it there we go, the Ghoulish Hunger, which we already talked about. When my hits get below 33%, assuming I don't instantly die, I get a burst of lifesteal and attack speed that really helps with dishing out damage. You know, with the attack speed, it also contributes to all those proccing skills I've got in the Nightblade, because the faster you attack, you know, the more attacks you'll put out, the more likely you are to get those procs, which dish out a ton of damage. And last but not least, there's this field medicine. Oh wait, where is it? there it is, field medicine ability that is like, it's like the Blood of Dreeg and the Pneumatic Burst, and gives you a burst of healing followed by a bunch of regeneration. So all those skills together, along with any defensiveness I've got to keep me from getting burst down, really helps. I'm a little bit disappointed that he focused on my dog the whole time, because I didn't get to really focus on how to put the skills out, but I hope I've explained it well enough that that you can kind of get the gist. And we'll make that the video for today. I hope that this is useful to somebody who is trying to figure out how this build works, who's trying to decide if they want to go with this build, or if you're just wondering what will happen. So I'm level 26, what's going to happen over the next 13 levels? You've been able to see what I did with it. I'm not sure it's the best. Like I keep saying, I'm not great at this game yet. I'm kind of new to it, but I wanted to provide something, because I wished when I was starting my character that I knew what all these skills meant and what they were doing. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.